Hello everyone, Charles Walhingford back again with another cold whiskey review, distilled aged spirit review, and I am doing this video because I had a really good experience with Wilderness Trail, their rye. I had their rye in a previous video. I did a cold review of that, and I was so enamored with how much I like that rye. I don't like rye, but I think I like this. Let me go in again. I said I have to try their yellow label. Their yellow label is bourbon. This is Kentucky Straight Bourbon. But this is a wheated bourbon. I didn't like rye. That's the only rye I've ever liked. I've tried other ryes and I did not like any of them until I tried the Wilderness Trail. So it makes perfect sense that I try their wheated bourbon because wheated bourbon is my favorite. That's my favorite style of bourbon. So today I'm going to have, for the first time, very, very first time, their wheated bourbon in front of you. Now, I will tell you something. I'll get started opening this. I have watched my videos and I look at them and I'm like, I could do better, and I'm going to do a little bit better for this one and give a little bit more detail. Just know, as I said before in previous videos, when you are doing a cold review and people are doing reviews, if they're telling you that they find all those wonderful flavors and all those wonderful smells and they go all deep in, I smell the lilac, I smell the cinnamon wafer, they smell this type of candy, or they taste this type of candy and all this stuff. A lot of people are bullshitting you. A lot of people are not telling you the truth. A lot of people are just making it up as they go. It takes a lot of time to really go into what you smell, taste, and everything else. When people do these reviews and they're serious about it and they really know what they're talking about, they spend hours on that review, on that tasting and everything else. We're not going to spend hours today, but I will give you a little bit more detail in the meantime. We're also going to add some water to it after I give it a couple sips. But the first thing we're going to go into is the scent, and the scent is coming through already, and that is so much fun and inviting and everything else. A lot of people give a lot of points to the scent. The scent is very important. It's not as important as the taste or the smell, but the scent of something, it should wake you up and wake up those taste buds and that brain to get those things going. And what's being awakening, what awakening am I having right now? It's a very bready scent that's coming through right now. And that's probably since it's high wheat, but this is the first time I've ever picked that out and been able to identify that. A lot of times when people grade different distilled aged spirit, the thing that gives you a higher grade is being distinctive. And this will actually give this probably a higher grade, even though I only go from 1 to 3. Oftentimes, a common occurrence when you're having bourbon is dark cherry scent. A lot of times it's not really that maraschino cherry. It's a fresh dark cherry that usually goes in there. That's not really pronounced right now. It's just, It has like almost a mineral smell that's coming through, along with the usual bourbon smells. You know you're smelling bourbon. All right, let's go with the actual taste. What does this taste like? All right, so here we go. First thing that hit me is wood. I hit that was the same thing that happened when I had the Wilderness Trail rye. Get a hit of wood right away. It's not off-putting, but that's the first thing that comes to mind, along with the usual bourbon-esque sentiments with the dark brown sugar and the corny. I don't know how to say it. It's like a corny. Some people say candy corn. It's a very distinctive bourbon flavor that's not going to change from bourbon to bourbon. Also, this is a wheated bourbon. Wheated bourbon doesn't have that bite that you're going to have from a rye, even though I like the rye flavor and they didn't have that rye bite the last time. There's far less bite in this, but there is a burn. I didn't go over. There is a 50% alcohol by volume. This is 100. Excuse me. This is 100 proof. And that burn isn't in the mouth, it's in the chest. Yeah, this definitely went down hot. So I definitely would like to add some water to this. Flavors I'm getting, a lot of times when you have a wheated bourbon, you're looking for a lot of times a creamy profile. I'm getting vanilla and cinnamon. It made me, I thought of, it invoked French toast. When I was drinking this and smelling, taking in the odor, the smell at the same time, I was thinking about liquefied French toast. That's what I was experiencing, and that's good. All right, let's go ahead and add some water. So I added a little bit of water. I would say approximately a teaspoon. A little bit more than I would want to, but how does it handle water? It handles water very well. What I have to help with this review is something that I didn't consider before, and I will do it right now, and I will compare this to another wheated bourbon that is very popular, and we can discuss the difference and the similarities. And what I have here is Larceny. Larceny is around $30 to $35. Wilderness Trail, Larceny. So the Larceny's scent, the odor, the fragrance isn't as inviting. This is just a little bit more inviting. Yeah, it smells almost industrial. I don't know how to put it in any other word. It smells industrial. Yeah, it's quite different than that. Let's go with flavors. Try Larceny first. I have been drinking very good, very high end, very highly renowned distilled aged spirits for a long time now. This is the cheapest thing I've drank in at least a year, and I can taste it. And I like Larceny. I absolutely like Larceny, but I'm picking up as a somewhat off-putting flavor. It's like almost like a rubber bitterness. It's weird. Like, and you won't be able to take. You will not taste this unless you're drinking other a very similar distilled aged spirit along with it. I have never picked that up until I drink this against something else like this Wilderness Trail. That's just, it's just so much better. It's so much better. It literally tastes like if I were to have an a VSOP cognac and an XO cognac, or a 12-year Scotch and a 15-year Scotch. It's a distinctive difference between the two. It just tastes. You can just the quality is completely different. Now, the Larceny is at, and this is just the Larceny, a small batch, 92 proof, and this is 100 proof. But like I said, the off-putting flavors that happen when you have something that's not as good comes through. And when you put these two against each other, you want to know, did I get something good? That's why it's important to buy. Sometimes it's important to buy lesser items so you can compare the two. Sit down and compare the two just like this, and you'll say, okay, all right, yeah, I got something good, or okay, all right, I paid too much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go with my score. My score for this, and I really, truly enjoyed this. The score is a 3.5, and if you're not familiar with my score, a 3.5 is a very good score. It's one out of 4, 3.5, almost damn near perfect for what it is. I'm only comparing it to other bourbons or other things on this price range, and I've been happy to drink more of this, and I'm sure once the camera turns off, even more flavors will come about. The Larceny is one of my favorites. I would highly recommend people trying Larceny, especially for the price. It's a very good distilled aged spirit, very good Kentucky Straight Bourbon, a wheated bourbon, what I love. But compared to this Wilderness Trail, wow. It literally gives you a wow. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is the video. I hope you enjoyed your time here. I hope this helped you out for your next purchase of distilled aged spirits. And little last